Coming up, we'll get you ready for the dirt racing weekend ahead, including the Lucas late models back in action, the Outlaws in Missouri, and more. Let's go. Today is Thursday, April 7th, 2022. Welcome into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. A quick show note, this is my last episode for the week as I'll be busy tomorrow with the day job. So because of that, we'll look ahead to the weekend and all of the races that will and won't happen. Hopefully with all the weather cancellations we had up to this point, we won't have more between now and when I would normally do a Friday show. So let's jump into it. Since February 12th at East Bay, we've only seen the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series in action one time. That was March 20th at Atomic. They've lost multiple shows to weather, and this coming weekend continues that trend. What was 3 race nights is now 2, with the loss of Friday's Hillbilly 100 at Tyler County. The race was originally scheduled to run in September of 2021, then pushed to this Friday, and now it's been canceled completely. Fans with tickets already bought will be able to use those in September this year when the Lucas late models return to Tyler County. So with the 100 gone, Lucas will be at Hagerstown on Saturday and Port Royal in Pennsylvania now on Sunday, just the 2 shows. A quick reset for you with 13 race nights complete. Devin Moran leads Brandon Shepard and Tyler Erb in the Lucas standings. B-Shep has the most wins on the year with 4. Moran has 3. Jimmy Owens and Brandon Overton have 2. And Tim McCready and Dennis Erb Jr. each have 1. With the Outlaws off, Bristol now done, and not a big slate of late model racing happening elsewhere, the fields this weekend should be pretty good. And don't expect that top 5 in points to shift towards the full-timers just yet. Moran and Sheppy will be in attendance this weekend, and with their sizable lead, they should leave the weekend still 1-2 in some sort of combination, either Moran first or Sheppy first. Eventually, though, the battle for the Lucas title will be on between Erb, McCready, O'Neill, Ricky Thornton Jr., Ashton Winger, and Earl Pearson Jr. McCready is the defending series champion, and while the start to 2022 hasn't been bad by any stretch, it hasn't really been super strong either. He's off his pace from 2021, but these shows at Hagerstown and Port Royal could be good places for him to get things going in a better direction. He won at Hagerstown a year ago and has taken 2 of the last 5 victories at Port Royal going back to 2020. Other drivers with wins at the port include Kyle Larson, Jonathan Davenport, and Hudson O'Neill. As for Moran, he's bringing a 13-race top 10 streak into the weekend, but neither Hagerstown or Port Royal have been particularly good to him. No top 10s at either track the last 2 seasons. Also, don't expect to see Jonathan Davenport this weekend. He had Tyler County on his schedule, but not the other 2 races. We should see Jimmy Owens, but I'm not also sure about Brandon Overton. The schedule on his website is empty from April 3rd through July 6th. A really hard time believing we won't see Overton again until July, especially with the Eldora Million happening in June. So we'll have to see if he shows up now or maybe to that Eldora race coming up next week at Eldora for the Flow Racing Night in America show. In the win picks department, the DirtTracker.com analytics prediction formula likes McCready at Hagerstown. I'm going to go Ricky Thornton Jr. RTJ is winless this year, but did finish second here last year. At Port Royal, the formula likes Shepard, but I'm going to flip and go McCready. Both nights of Lucas Racing will be available to watch over on MAV TV+. I mentioned that the Outlaws are off, but we did have a schedule change announced for that series yesterday. Late models were originally scheduled to be at Thunder Mountain Speedway on May 20th, but that race has been moved over to Marion Center Raceway after the promoters of Thunder Mountain announced they will not be operating that track this season. That weekend still remains a 3-race Pennsylvania swing for the Outlaw late models, with Bloomsburg Fair on May 19th and Port Royal on May 21st. The World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series is headed to Missouri this weekend for 2 shows and will be joined by the Xtreme Outlaw Sprint Cars, so a nice non-wing and winged combo is up on tap this weekend. Tomorrow night they head to US 36 Raceway, and Saturday is off to Lake Ozark Speedway. The Xtreme portion of the weekend is a co-sanction with the POWRi War Sprint Car Series as well. This will be the World of Outlaws' first trip to US 36 since 2020. Sheldon Haudenschild led the final lap that night and topped Brad Sweet and Logan Schuchart. Lake Ozark has become a pretty regular stop for the series. They've had 7 races completed there since the 2018 season. Brad Sweet, James McFadden, Donnie Schatz, Logan Schuchart, and David Gravel have all picked up recent wins there. As we talked about earlier in the week, Sweet enters the weekend with a 32-point advantage over Carson Macedo, with David Gravel, Sheldon Haudenschild, and Donnie Schatz the rest of the top 5. The prediction formula likes Sweet at US 36, but I'm going to roll with Haudenschild to repeat. He's done really well on 3 ace-mile tracks in his career, with that size track leading to 9 of his 24 wins since 2017. As for Lake Ozark on Saturday, the formula likes sweet, and so do I. Brad has been hot, and third mile racetracks have been good too, the big cat. Only James McFadden has a better average finish at Lake Ozark than Sweet, but J-Mac has only done it in 2 starts. On the non-wing side with the Xtreme Outlaw Series, these will be races 3 and 4 after the opening 2 nights back at Volusia in February. CJ Leary leads Robert Ballou and Carson Short in the series standings, obviously after those first 2 nights. The tire drama with USAC feels like it's shifted things a bit on the sprint car side, and the Xtreme Series is looking kind of to benefit here. Keith Coons is bringing his sprint car this weekend with Jason McDougall behind the wheel. That was after Keith had said he was not going to run with USAC for the foreseeable future. And Team AZ with driver Jake Swanson will be in attendance this weekend after they announced they wouldn't be at Lawrenceburg a week ago because of the tire stuff. On top of that, we'll get the war guys like Mario Klauser and Riley Kreisel. And one driver who we know will do double duty with both series is Brady Bacon. He's loaded up both a non-wing car and a wing car and will run with both Outlaw series each night. So with the All-Stars rained out and USAC off, these 2 nights should draw a lot of attention, and I think for good reason. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely looking forward to these shows. If you can't be at either Missouri stop, you can watch live on Dirt Vision. Speaking of USAC, the Midgets were headed to Kokomo this weekend for 2 nights of racing, but that show has been canceled because of forecasted snow and cold weather. The event will not be made up. Next on the schedule for the USAC National Midgets is 2 nights at Shane Stewart's Port City Raceway in Oklahoma. That is for the T-Town Midget Showdown that's promoted by Brady Bacon. To see the full USAC schedule, visit usacracing.com. Out in California, the NARC 410 season continues with a nice 10,000 to win show at Keller Auto Speedway in Hanford. The Anthony Simone Classic is the 2nd race of 2022, and Colby Copeland leads the series into Hanford after winning the opener a week ago at Stockton. Shane Golubic is the defending race winner, but I think I'd keep my eye on Dominic Scelzi this weekend. According to the series release, 6 of Scelzi's 22 sprint car wins last season in California came at Hanford. You'll also see Mitchell and Michael Facino, Tim Kading, Bud Kading, Justin Sanders, Joel Myers Jr., DJ Neto, Billy Atten, Logan Forler, Tanner and Blake Carrick, and Tanner Holmes. Don't forget the full NARC schedule is available to watch on Flow Racing. I know if you're like me out on the East Coast, it's a bit of a large ask to stay up late to watch some of that California stuff. But if you're a 410 sprint car fan, I would definitely look into these NARC 410 shows. Some good racing. The California tracks are great. And you can catch them the next day on the replay too over on Flow Racing if you don't want to stay up and watch them live. If you're looking for other late model racing this weekend, there's a 10,000 to win crate show at Greenville Speedway. The MLRA is at 81 Speedway for 2 nights. One of those is a 5,000 to win show. The other is 7,000 to win. There's also Ultimate Late Models at Carolina and Lakeview and a bunch more. If you want to see a pretty good look at the late model schedule for the weekend, head over to dirtondirt.com. Before we close out today, I wanted to mention last night's non-wing micro show at Millbridge here in North Carolina. 20 cars in the feature, and the field included Kyle Larson, Toyota driver Jesse Love, Caden Quapple, Brent Cruz, Sheldon Creed, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Gavin Boschel. We also saw NASCAR drivers Brandon Jones and Noah Gregson. The battle out front in the feature turned into an absolute slider fest between Larson, Love, Bell, and Cruz. Young Money ended up with the win, with Bell 2nd, Cruz 3rd, Love 4th, and Creed in 5th. If you're looking for something to distract you at your desk today, go find that replay over on Dirt Vision. We're definitely a little spoiled here in the Charlotte area having this much race car talent in a place like Millbridge to go on Wednesday nights. It's a quiet day on the streaming services with only Flow Racing 24/7 happening, but there is a bunch of stuff coming this weekend like I already mentioned, so stay locked to the streaming schedule at dirttracker.com for all your options. To see those daily shows, hit up dirttracker.com/watch tonight. That's it for the show today. Have a good Thursday and a good weekend. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We'll be back on Monday for more Dirt Tracker Daily.